So in the previous session, we looked at dynamic lists. So at this level, we're going to get introduced to Flutter packages. So Flutter packages help us to add more functionalities into the Flutter project without a hassle. So Flutter packages are out there. There are so many, and they simplify things. Instead of you struggling with writing the native code of Bluetooth, you can find a Flutter package that can help you to manage Bluetooth with simplicity, and so many. So the package that we're going to look at as our first introduction to packages, we're going to look at the form package. So form package makes it simple to manage and manipulate forms in Flutter. So what we're going to do, I'm going to add that package, and then we see how we can collect data using that package for forms. So let's go ahead and see how we do that. So just search Flutter packages. So if you search for Flutter packages, you'll get a first link where they'll take you to the official repository for that and Flutter packages. So if you go to that repository, you'll find a list of repositories that you might need when you're creating projects.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please. I'm not sharing the screen.
I'm not sharing the screen.
Sorry. So just simply search Flutter packages on Google. You'll be able to see the first link, right, or the first URL. They'll tell you different packages, the most favorite packages, what people are using, and their respective uses. Okay, so those are the packages. So for us, we are just interested in Flutter form package for now. However, you can go ahead and try so many packages out there. So go ahead and search for Flutter form package. So Flutter form builder, it's called Flutter form builder, to give you ability to manage and manipulate your forms with simplicity. Here it's where you check the reviews and the publicity, or how famous that project is. So popularity, it is 99%. Everyone is using it by 99%. Everyone 99% like it. 160 points, those are the maximum points, and then unlimited likes. So this is one of the top or most popular packages. They simplify life of managing forms. Pickers, date pickers, text collectors, etc. Alright, so what we're going to do, I'm going to add this package into our project. So to add the package into your project, there are two ways how you can do that. One, you can run a command. So this is the command. So you come here to installing section. Every package will have this section of installing. So you'll see a command of flutter add pub add. Then you see the name. You could see a command of adding a package by use of command, or you'll see the option of adding package directly to what we call dependencies in pubspec.yaml. Okay. So if you want to use the second one, you just simply copy that dependency, copy it, and then come to your project. And then go to this file that I told you about. This file called pubspec.yaml, this one. So in here you can add different packages. Okay, so these are just explanation. These are things that are in commented explanation. You can remove them. You can remove all these things that are commented, so you can have a clean place. All right, so let me remove all these, and okay, so as they told you there, that you have to go to the section where there is word dependency. So you can keep this as simple as this. You see, you can keep it as simple. as that has no problem. So as they told you here, that we have to go where there is what dependency, and then we add this line in order to import this package. So we go to where there is dependencies here. Next to it, what's dependency there? Here, right? Here. Next to it, add this line of what? Of Flutter packages, just as it is there. Make sure that it is in the same line as how you see it here. Should be next to dependency by one tab. Otherwise, if you don't do that, then your project will not run. In your pubspec.yaml, this file is here, okay, on the top here. So you can go ahead and import these packages by just simply clicking here on top where there is get, or you can run a terminal called flutter pub get. It will go ahead and import those package. Or you can simply copy this command. All right, copy the command and then go to terminal. Okay, make sure that you're inside your project. Make sure that you're inside your project. Then go ahead and run. Go ahead and run the command that they'll give you, which is flutter pub add, and then the name of the project, the name of the package. So if I press enter, it is going to just tell me that this is already there. So you can see here they say that it is already added. Okay, so those are the two ways of how you can add the packages in your project. Alright, so with that much said, let's go ahead and create a form that is going to help us to add items in this list. Okay, let's create a form that's going to help us to add item in this list. So to do so, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come here to our dynamic list here, and then I'm going to put here a button for adding. We call it a floating button. So I'll come here and put floating button inside our scaffold. It is always under the scaffold. So go ahead and put floating button, and then I just create here a floating button. Just simply say floating button, then put colon, and then go ahead and say floating button, and then open, and then put on press here, and then this floating button will take a child, and this child can be an icon, as you can see this. Okay, so let me put here dot add. That is also fine. Okay, so you see our button is there. All right, so in this button I want, like, when someone clicks on it, you can as well style this button if you want. Okay, you can style it from there. You can change its shape, you can give it a color, etc. Let's see how I can style it. Alright, so you can see our button is there. It's beautiful. You can come here and give this color to white. Alright, so I want when someone clicks on this button, they should be taken to the screen of creating what? Of creating a new item. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to create a new screen that I'm going to call maybe add, or maybe flutter create. User create. All right, so let's go ahead and create that screen. So I'll come here, say new, and let's say file. I can say user create screen dot dat, or you can say user model create screen dot dat. Press enter. So here I'm going to put our stateful widget. Now we are dealing with stateful because we shall need to do some operations there. All right. Okay. So there we go. Now after doing so, I want now when someone clicks on this plus button, they should be taken to this screen. So to do so, I'll just simply come here to our button that we just created. Or is it on dynamic list here, and then I'm going to navigate to this screen. So I'll just simply say navigator dot pushed. Let me use this first one. All right, so now if someone clicks here, it should take them to the to user create screen. So let's click. You see it takes us to user create screen. So in this user create screen, so we're going to put our form of adding a user. So to add the form, just first return scaffold and give app bar add user. I'm going to delete these things, just they are suggested. So it's just a simple form of Flutter. So let's remove all these. Alright, so it's just a simple empty list. So after doing so, we're going to go ahead and look at the examples here. So they'll give you the documentation basics, how you can get started with each item here. All right, I'll show you how you can get started with each item. So they say that if you want to control your form, you have to create what you call a form key as a final variable. So I'll come here on top of my inside my state here. Okay, on top of build, I go ahead and create what we call a form key. It's a global variable, and then I import the state of the form. All right, so this will be like a control of our form. And then they say that you should surround your form with what? With form builder widget, and then give it what? Form key. So those are the main things. So let me come here on my on my scroll view. Then I surround it as a parent. I can surround it as a parent. So I'll come here. I can come here to the column and I surround this one as a what? As a parent. So let me come here and put the center, and then I come and change this one center to form builder, right? Like this. Okay, form builder like this. So after doing so, I'll come and get key and add it here like this. Alright, so I'll give that key. So it means that now this key is the one that's going to be used to control this form. Now we're going to add a first element in the form that we're going to call name. Alright, so to do so, I'll just simply come here and get this name. Okay, form builder text. Okay, field. So go ahead and give. So this form builder has so many different types of fields. So just simply come here and read about them. You have checkboxes, date pickers, all of them. Among them we have form builder list. Okay, among them we have form builder list. So let's go ahead and create our first item and add it there. So I can just simply come and say container, or let me just simply come and put here form builder text field, that first one, and then this form builder, it must always have what you call a name. So go ahead and give it a name. So I can give a name to be the name. Now you can give this form builder so many parameters, so many parameters. All right, so let me go ahead and save. Now you see that shall have this kind of this kind of a field. So let me give here some padding to this single child scroll view. Let me give it padding and say dot symmetric. Okay, let's say all 10. All right, so maybe you can say maybe only left to be 15 and right to be 15. All right, so there we go, our simple list item. A simple form item. Now, this form item can take so many things. So many things. So I encourage you to explore. So how do you explore? To explore, you either read the documentation and see, or you just simply press Ctrl and hold it, then click on that item. So you'll see all the parameters that can possibly take and what it accepts. So all these are parameters that it takes. So it gives you like enough flexibility to control your input field, right? So you can keep on trying on each parameter. For example, name, we have already added it there. Okay, you can try validator, you can try decoration. Let's go for decoration. So if you can simply press here, press Ctrl and press space, you'll be able to see all the possible things that you can do. You can pass to it. You see? So let's go for the decoration. So decoration, just simply say decoration and then say constant, or you can just remove the constant and then go ahead and put and return what you call input decoration. And then this input decoration will take things like label text. Label text is the label of that widget. Okay, so it can take so many things. Just press Ctrl and press space, or Alt and space. You'll be able to see different possibilities. You can just simply come and say here, show actions. Here you can be able to see different possibilities that you can do with this particular fields. So for example, here you can add the borders. Okay, so you see that is our border. Put here on top, and put here a size the box with height of 15. All right, so you see that is our input. So there are so many ways, there are so many things that you can do with it. So go ahead and press Ctrl and space, the alignment, whether it is disabled or not disabled. So all those are there. Okay, all those are there. The hint, the icon, if you want to add an icon in front of it, for example, you can just simply say icon and then go ahead and put icon and then say .person. So see, you have an icon like this one. Leading, trailing, all of them. Just go ahead and try them out to see if you can come up with something that you exactly want. So that is it. Now what I need to do, I need when an item changes, we can't see your screen. Are you sure you cannot see my screen? Members, can't you see my screen? Let me share again. So how have you been following? Can you see my screen now? Members, can you see my screen? Can I get your feedback? All right. Maybe
that message was before the screen was displaying. Yeah. Then afterwards you did. So it's a long time ago.
All right. I had not seen it. Good. Okay. So here you can just simply press Ctrl and click on input field. You'll be able to see different things that you can do with it. Error message, error text, error styling, all of them. So in your free time, go ahead and practice all the fields, all the parameters that you can pass, so you can understand what is there and what is not there. So in case you need something, you should be able to know that this is there. So here, what I need like when someone types in something here, I should be able to collect. Or when something changes, I should be able to do what? Collect the value that has been changed. So to do so, I can just simply come and so there is a prefix, there is an icon, there is suffix, all of those are there. Anyway, so now to listen to on change listener, like if something changes, I want to be able to know. There you have to do what? You have to so there's also prefix icon. Alright, I think that's what I want. Prefix icon, suffix icon, all of those are there. Alright, so I want like when something changes, I should be able to get it. So to listen to on change listener, just come here and come and add on changed. So on changed, it will give you a string, okay, in form of what? In form of value. Alright, okay. So everything that it's changed, it will be given to you here. Okay. So let's go ahead and see. Now if I come here and I put, you see, when I put for example, you see every time a letter changes, it is being put in console because of this. See, when I write like this, see, it is there. So every time a letter changes, I get it straight. Okay, so I can just simply say if this is null, I don't go beyond that. Now, since we said that we're going to collect the user data, and we know our user data is well structured, so what do? We go ahead and create an object that we can use to collect the data. So I can just simply come and say user model and then say obj, or I can say maybe item equals to user model, like this. Okay, now I want here when it will be changing here, it should be setting the what? The name. Okay, like this. So by doing so, I can maybe update state. I want just maybe to take that. It's not necessary to update state. So I mean that every time changes, you'll be getting from me the name. So for example, if I want to display here the name and see if it was actually saved, I can just simply come and say, for example, text and then put the name there. Okay, so you see this one is what? It will be setting state every time it changes, and change the name and then set state. So if I come here and I rub everything, you see when I write something, it is showing up here. Why? Because I've connected it. You see, so I'm able to collect the name as soon as it is entered. All right, as soon as it is entered. So you see how things are fun, that and they are well understandable if you give them attention. So that is how we collect the name. So there are some more things. There are so many things that you can still play with this. You can go ahead and add counters. You can go ahead and add. You can go ahead and make it password hidden. All those. So I want, like, if someone opens it and maybe I have some data there, it should have some initial value. You can just as well do that by saying initial value and then go ahead and pass whatever you want to be used as an initial value. Alright, so with that much said, so what next? What I'm going to do next, let's go ahead and validate. So this form builder comes with the validator. Alright, it comes with the validator package, but it is separate. You can be able to add it separately. So the validator, it makes life very simple to validate. So before you go even to validator, I would like you to first take time and go and explore everything in this form builder, what it can do, what it cannot do, explore date pickers, etc. So now let's go ahead and look at validators. Okay, so you want to validate a name should be more than 3 letters. It should not be having this, should have this one, it should, all those things. So you might use what you call a validator, form builder validator. So before you go to form builder validator, in your free time, first come and go through all these. So you can understand what it can do for you and what it cannot do for you. So we have here form builder validator. So go ahead and search it, Form Builder Validators for Flutter, and then you'll see it as a first package being suggested on top. Go ahead and click on it. So they'll show you it works almost on all platforms. Okay, it works on Android, it works on iOS, it works on Linux, it works on Mac, it works on web, it works on Windows. So it works on all platforms that are supported by Flutter. So now this validator, it helps us to validate. Let's go ahead and add it to our project. So I'll come here to installing, and then I'll go ahead and get this installed by terminal. So this time let's install by terminal, the other time installed by adding a file in a package. So let me go ahead and install by terminal. So just simply press there, say install. So it will process and start adding. So when it's done, it will show me that has finished adding. Alright, so that is how we add packages. So I've added that validator there. Alright, I've added the validator. Okay, so after adding validator, so what next? What next is so what next is what next is after I've added the validator, what next is to implement it. Okay, so now what if we want to make this to have a maximum of 3 fields? So we shall just simply come here to our form builder and then go ahead and add validator, and then you have what you call form builder validators. Alright, go ahead and import it and then say .compose and then open a square bracket like this. So inside here you can go ahead and put different validators. Alright, so come and search about validators here in examples that they give you. You'll be able to see validator that has lowercase. If you want to check if something should have a lowercase, you put has lowercase. Has numeric if you want it to have numeric figures. If you want it to have a special character, if you want it, so you can implement all these ones, all of them. These are about collections. These are about validator themselves. This one is about data and time. This one about file validation. This one about finance validation. This one about identity validation. This one about network validation, numeric validation. So all of these, they give you the function that can help you to validate. You see? So if I want this field to be having the maximum value, so for example, the most common one is the max. Is the max. Is the required. So if you just simply do like this and make it required, so it means that someone will not submit before the what? Before it's validated. Okay? Before it's required. If you want to pass your own custom message, just simply pass it here. Okay? If you want to pass your own custom message, pass it through the error text and then put your own message. Otherwise, to use its default message and say this field is what? Is required. And that is very nice in a way that it does not need even to necessarily type too much. So you can just simply say mean length. So that is the most minimum length. Or I can say maybe maximum length to be 5. Okay? Now how do you validate? So to validate, you just simply call the other form key, and then say .validate. Alright? Okay, so let's go ahead and validate. Just simply say form key current state, put question mark and say validate. Alright, like this. So that's how you validate. So if it is successful, it will return a true. If it fails, to return false. So I can just simply say if validation is not successful, you see. Is it how we validate? Let me see. show you how we validate. Come here to example. Yeah, that's supposed to be. So just simply say, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. So form.current state and then put question mark and then exclamation mark and then say validate. So I can put here, for example, and say print success and then say else print failed. All right, so let's try to validate. So if I save, come here, so and I click on this submit button, you can see success. All right, so let's say maybe the maximum length is 3. Okay, so validate. All right, I'll need to restart my app. So let it restart, so it can come with a new state. Come to the list, be like adding. So you see, when I validate, it has failed. So this is, you see the error message, red color, name is required, blah blah blah. So if I put there some information and I validate, it is now okay. So let's look at that max length thing. Max minimum length is 3. You can go ahead and add their maximum length is, so I can just simply come here and say max length and make it maybe 4. So it means that if I validate right now, it will say value must have less or equal to 4. So if I want to pass my own message, I can just simply pass here and say error text and say name is too short. Okay, so that is when you pass your own message. So if I submit here, see, it has taken my message. So that is the validator and form for you. So it has so many things. It has radios and the rest. I'll leave you from there. I want you now to go ahead and test and implement all the validations and also implement all the form fields, so you can know what can help you and what cannot help you. Yeah, so that's it for today. So in the next lecture, we shall now go ahead and tackle the local databases. How do you save this data on the database? How do you make it appear on the list? How do you remove it from the list? How do you save things on the database, like database manipulation on of a local phone? If time allows, shall also proceed to Firebase. Yeah, so that's it for today. I'll receive your questions if they are there. Anyone with a question? Anyone with a question would like to ask? Okay, put your attendance in the chat. Did you understand, members? Or you just keep quiet? All right, put your attendance in the chat and then call it a day.